Welcome, everyone, and welcome to the April 22nd, 2026 meeting of the Upper Allen Township Park and Recreation Board. Appreciate everyone being here. And if I could ask you to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It's turned off. As per our policy or our procedure, we do a roll call starting from my left. Yeah,
Judy Bailey.
turn. Yep.
Judy Bailey.
Jeff Williams.
Christina Dryden.
Nick Christie.
Jeff Kluge.
Yeah. Oh,
Alexis Manana.
Chad Crowe. Eddie Mara.
Eric Fairchild.
Caldine Stambaugh.
thank you. I will announce that this meeting will be live streamed via Zoom. For those who wish to attend virtually, a recording of the session will be made available on YouTube after the fact, usually midday, something like that tomorrow. Everyone had a chance to look at the minutes. Do we have any corrections or adjustments? Entertain a motion to adopt.
I move to adopt.
Second,
Second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I've never heard anybody opposed to the minutes.
Aye, Jen.
Normally you have a chance to change them. Chairman's announcements, I
You can ignore that.
ask your indulgence because I have a few to go through here. Well, with my eyesight. First and big, I want to welcome Judy and Jeff to the board. Thank you for serving. I hope you'll have a good time. We do. And then moving along from that, I did attend the opening day ceremonies for both baseball and softball. They are truly community events, packed with people, food trucks and moon bounces and all kinds of things for people to do. But I think we need to remember how much impact youth sports has on our kids and their life experience. Soccer, lacrosse, baseball, softball. We're I'm really amazed at the amount of volunteerism that you see year after year. And I saw it at both of these events. So if you ever get a chance, please stop by next year. I also went to Earth Day celebration that Mechanicsburg had because Birdtown had a booth there, which don't be laughing, you get to talking a little bit. It was very well received. I would say the biggest thing that we saw were temporary tattoos of birds, and I identified 3. I'm very proud of that because people couldn't tell. I attended the dog park committee meeting as a liaison. It's a quarterly meeting. That was April 8th. I attended the Board of Commissioners meeting on the 1st and the 15th. I tend to go to keep eye out on the wild ones. And I did attend the Pennsylvania Recreation Parks Society Conference on the 25th for a luncheon and the 26th for the award ceremony, where our Parks Department got their 3rd consecutive Excellence in Parks and Recreation Award at the awards banquet. And that really made me feel good because they're on the right track. We're doing the right thing and they are excellent at it. National Recreation Park Association, their national conference is in Philly this year. That starts on the 29th of September. And at that point, I'm at the point to announce I've already spoken to the Board of Commissioners and I have something for Alexis and Kildeen here in a minute. But Carmen and I are moving. This meeting and May will be my last as chair. And I'll have more to say next month, or maybe I can hold it together a little bit better. So moving along from that to save me. Are there any public comments? Anybody want to come up and say something? This is your shot. All right. Let's go through our the recognitions of visitors. Mr. Fairchild and Jennifer, do you all have anything to share tonight?
Talk loudly, be loud.
It's only one button.
Turned on.
I just wanted to say I softball today. First I want to say on the baseball today for the first time. My son played since he was 5, he's hurt me now, he finished out of the program. But the softball program was absolutely amazing. Had such a great turnout. It was fabulous.
Yeah, it was. And I apologize again. I didn't recognize her. She was in the booth there and I just, so that's one demerit. Mr. Fairchild, anything to share, sir?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that the commissioners approved a 1-year extension for the agreement, the pool agreement for the Mechanicsburg pool. And we are restarting the joint committee between the two municipalities. And I know Chad is on that, but I'm hoping you can bring some of that information and discussion to this board over the course of those discussions so we can just, to me, the more eyes that are looking at that pool and suggestions that we get. I know like Jim Cochran's here tonight. He gave us some more financial information over the past several years. So I just think the more heads that look at this, the better. So.
As a review, I think this board supported by motion to encourage the Board of Commissioners to continue to investigate some kind of cooperative agreement. But there are a lot of factors there, but there's a year for them to get their act together. Yeah. Anything else, sir?
Nope, that's all for tonight. Thanks.
All right. Mr. Krebs.
So
Oh,
I have,
I'm sorry. Mr. Krebs cannot talk because we've sanctioned him. Eddie will talk.
So I do have a couple pages of Chad's thoughts. So bear with me. So he's struggling with losing his voice. I'll be going over most items on the agenda. He'll respond if he needs to. So for our parks update, we're currently short-staffed and going through some crew rotations with a retirement, a non-working related injury, and slow to gain some seasonal positions this year. We're a little behind with catching up, and our crews should be back to reasonable staffing within the next few weeks. The restrooms have been opened. Over 100 seasonal trash cans have been placed in the parks, and most of the mulching was completed within and around the playgrounds. Mowing started off to a slow start with our staffing issues, but we were getting caught up with that as well. Our crew started aerating and rolling the sports fields today, so that should finish off sometime next week. We wanted to give a shout out to Randy Hornberger. Randy has been with the township for 9 years and with the Parks Department for the last 3. Randy will be retiring from his full-time position on May 1st and coming back to work at the seasonal with us on our mowing crew. We wish Randy the best in his retirement and his next chapter. That's it for
All
Chad.
right, now we're down to Eddie. Eddie,
All So, Eddie
You-
here.
something in your section.
Yeah, so we reached out to Compin about our the usage on the fitness equipment because he did tell us that when you scan the QR code on the equipment, they can actually track the usage of it and they can give us reports of, you know, the how many hours each equipment was used and so forth. The equipment was installed and open for use in in August, and since then there have been 407 hours of use in 5,956 sessions tracked on the iPhone. They're having issues with pulling the data from Androids at the time, so they are working on that, and he will give us a more accurate number once they get those bugs fixed on their end. The highest used piece of equipment was our X Trainer, which is the elliptical machine. Just wanted to point out how heavily it was being used and how much of an attraction this equipment has been. It's used by parents, kids alike. Kids use it in ways that I didn't even know you could use it, but they're still being safe on it. So we're okay with that. And I do want to call out Jim Salter and Doug for making the place look great after opening day. It's been years that we kind of have been going back and forth with, you know, lots of trash being left over after opening day and things like that. But this year they both did a wonderful thing with making sure both parks were completely clean and the dumpsters are actually full of trash bags. So I just want to give them a shout out for that. That's it.
Okay. Tiffany?
There we go. Hey, everyone. The sun came out, so that's really nice. Hopefully, I feel like every time I'm up here, I'm wishing for warmer weather, but I'm still wishing for warmer weather. So I did provide a quick rundown. So we weren't at the March meeting because it was canceled. I was also at the PRPS meeting. So I did February 1st to March 31st. So it encompasses more programs than typical. A couple of things I wanted to highlight. The annual dance, we had 105 participants. We had some volunteers and staff as that as well. Always a lot of fun. And my team might not report back on this, but we made a balloon arch and it was beautiful. And we got some really great pictures of the kids at the dance. So that was definitely our highlight for the spring. And then where it says MAPS, since I didn't add a note, that is our middle school after school activity program. So whenever we run it, it's a 5-week program, 10 sessions. It's right after the middle school to give those kids an opportunity to do something after school for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So I realized I was like, oh, that acronym means something to us, not to everybody. So when you're looking at it, that's a side note for you. On the back, I'm going to go over some highlights. So we talked before about the indoor pool being open. So in February, we did have 75 participants registered for rec swim. We have finalized our summer hiring. We're like on the edge of getting ready to submit everything to the school board. So that's a really good feeling that we're not begging for summer employees, because the last couple summers, I think a lot of people have been in that situation. For summer adventure camp, I listed just the individuals that we have registered so you can see how many total campers. We average about 60 kids a day in our 2 youngest groups, Pathfinders and Explorers, and about 40, or Pathfinders and Trailblazers, and about 40 in the Explorers, but this is total number registered. And I did include the information below for pool passes, because pool pass sales did start on April 7th. So this kind of shows you a quick snapshot of how many are registered for each municipality based off of the package, with a small caveat that we are going back and having to correct some individuals' municipalities because they think Mechanicsburg address. And so I would say it's 95% accurate. We're going back to pull it. So hopefully by the end of the season, we have addresses and their locations listed accurately. So really excited. The pool's gonna be open in like a month because Memorial Day is so much earlier this year. So we're really excited, and that's all I got. Any questions?
How difficult was it to get lifeguards this year?
We have somehow an abundance of lifeguards this year.
Really?
Yeah. The last time I looked, which was the end of last week, we had over 35 applicants for lifeguards, which is great. Not everybody's in that boat, so we've already told people we'll share.
Thank you. Nice report. Questions?
Has the concessions
Got the concessions worked out?
So the borough is not, will not have a concession stand operating. We're gonna allow people, they said, they're gonna allow people to bring food and drink into the pool, which is probably easier for everybody, honestly, because before they weren't allowed to bring anything in. And then they're gonna bring food trucks on the days that, would be busier, probably Friday, Saturday. They're trying to work out those details. Good question.
Other questions?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
I hope it works out with the borough where they get their act together. Enough said. All right, now we'll go to Birdtown. Oh, Birdtown.
Well, you remembered me tonight. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that.
I do try.
So I'm just gonna give a little update on the latest activities from the Birdtown Committee. Over the past several meetings, the committee has been focusing on ongoing initiatives and longer-term planning. One area of recent discussion has been reviewing Bee City USA requirements as an informational step to determine whether pursuing that designation might be a good fit for the township. So I looked into the Bee City is similar to Birdtown. They have a lot of similar goals and would really dovetail off each other. So we discussed it as a committee whether or not we wanted to try and go for the Bee City designation. The reality of the situation is it's a lot of work, and I don't think we are adequately staffed at this time to tackle that. So we kind of put it on the back burner, but it would be a really easy thing. It wouldn't be easy, but it would be something that made sense to do because it's so like tied in with Birdtown. Like a lot of what we're already doing for Birdtown also benefits the bees. So anyway, so that we kind of put on the back burner, but I just thought I would bring it to your attention. We have also started talking about fundraising and started fundraising because we want to be able to support our own programming. So what that's going to ultimately look like exactly, I'm not sure. We're working on a prospectus and a mission and a vision so that we can kind of put that out there. I just want to remind everybody that we meet on the second Wednesday of the month at 8 a.m. We meet here in person, but we also do the meetings on Zoom. And they're open to anybody that is interested in learning more or getting involved. Oh, and at Earth Day, so we were at the Earth Day booth. Jeff actually with his wife manned the booth for a couple of hours. And it was awesome.
That Jeff.
Yes, Jeff Kluge.
The other Jeff, yes.
Yes. He is in Birdtown and he is one of my great volunteers. And so we had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time giving out the bird tattoos and all that stuff. So yeah, that's it for me for now.
Yeah, if I can add to that, I just want to give Alexa the credit that she's due. She has
Jeff,
really
your mic hit the button.
it's
Button.
Screen.
it's on.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Yeah, it's on. Yep.
Oh, I'm looking at the.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Turn it up. There we go.
I'll be in my room.
Yeah, I wanted to give her the credit that she's due. She has really gotten Birdtown and obviously working with Parks and Rec Board to combine all of these issues together. And I was one of the people who said we should table the Bee City idea just simply because we cannot continue to put more work upon staff for things like that, and especially when they're complementary. If we're doing our job properly with Birdtown, trying to focus on pollinators and the things we're doing here, the Bee City stuff is just going to go in tow. And then again, credit to her and staff for helping with the Earth Day celebration. The temporary tattoos were a real big hit, and we got filled out 3 pages of people.
23 people signed up for the email distribution list.
Yes, and I credit a lot of the tattoos to that, which really drew people in, and that was a lot of fun. But no, we got a lot of information out there, and it showed that there were other activities similar to us. Mechanicsburg had something similar, but it showed, again, the credit to the staff and all the hard work they're doing. So I think we are definitely moving in the right direction. So thank you, Alexis.
Nice work. That's for Rick.
But we just had an epiphany or heard about the meadows that are going in at Generations Park, and that's huge for the birds and for the bees. That's something I'm excited to watch unfold.
If you haven't had the chance to, we'll talk about Generations Park in just a minute, but if you haven't had a chance to go through and look at birds there or Trout Run, there's some of the parks where you can just stop, sit, let them come to you and enjoy it. I mean, if you're into birds, we have the parks for you. Nick, you're up. What do you see?
All right, so Friendship and Rose Garden again look phenomenal. Plenty of people out there, even with a bit of colder weather earlier this week. I really don't have anything else to add.
All right, Country Estates, it's mowed, there's no activity there, look really clean. Generations, trying to read my writing here. I go by a couple times a week since it's one of my parks, and I've seen 2 bald eagles in the last maybe 4 weeks up in the trees. As you enter the park, the entrance road will curve at the end. The trees are on the right. There's 3 of them, very tall. Now it's kind of hard to see from the driver's side, but when you park, look over that way. You might see them. But there are birds everywhere. The habitat with wetlands, there's plenty of water. There's plenty of seed, plenty of insects, certainly. It's very enjoyable just to go. And we were there, if you're not aware, the Park and Rec Advisory Board meets at different parks prior to our meeting once a month to look at different parks and get updates from park staff. And today was Generations Park. And hearing about the meadows that are going to be put in this year, thanks to funding from the commissioners, thank you. That'll be a couple of years before they mature, but what an awesome, awesome area to go for peace and relaxation. When I go there, I see a variety of people. I know the women's club, that crew walks every Tuesday morning at different parks. They just did Generations Park, and one of the participants mentioned she has a problem physically with pain walking on concrete. Asphalt has a little bit more give. And the point is, she's comfortable walking on asphalt. And when I'm there, I've seen a lot of dogs. We saw a lot of dogs today. You're going to see that all day long. But I've seen a lot of strollers there. I've seen groups of primarily women during the day walking 2 and 3 abreast on the pathways. And the park's getting used. Are you going to see it used like a friendship park where you see kids on the play equipment all day? No, and you don't want to. It's primarily a passive park. So if you haven't ever been there, and if you're watching this, check it out. I think you'll be surprised very pleasantly. Along with the development of that park, I'm leaving, but I have opinions on the different amenities proposed for Generations Park. And I will prepare a memo for this board and for administration and the park staff on my opinions. They can take it or leave it. But this park has tremendous potential. There's a gentleman by the name of Tom Ross, who was one of quite a few deputy directors of the National Park Service. And we hired him when I was president of the Maryland Recreation Park Association. We hired him to be our executive director. He's from this area. He's coming up here and he wants to sit down and visit with us a little bit. I'm hoping to take him over there and get some national perspective on the parks. Nothing is more important than our local perspective, but for someone like that who's testified in Congress to give us some opinions might be nice to have. We also, Carmen and I, my wife, who has a friend who was responsible for Fort Hunter, having that barn redone and the grounds and the house there. And one of my goals was to try to reach out to her, and I won't put her name in the public record because I haven't said anything to her. Maybe get her there for some opinions as well. So that before I leave, we'll leave you with some of the input from contacts that Carmen and I have. I would say that there is a bit of an issue at that park because it's so wide open. I was there yesterday, and a gentleman pulled up, let his dog out of the car, had his leash in his hand, so the dog was off lead immediately. That could be a problem. It's very difficult to enforce unless you have an issue. But I just mention it because on one side, it's nice that people see a park where the dogs can run free. On the other side, we have a dog park where the dogs can run free and play with each other. So I yelled something at him and he totally ignored me, which was, I'm pretty loud, but he was doing his thing. But I'll just mention that for staff, and I mentioned it earlier. Next park, dog park. Got more on this. We had someone resign. It was a young woman, and you may remember she has a child with some challenges in a wheelchair. They loved going to the dog park because it was accessible, and her child could wheel up and go into the park and watch the dogs. And to replace her, we've the dog park committee has put in Rick Fernbaugh.
Fernbaugh.
I wasn't going to hold you out there. Fernbaugh, okay. It's her husband, okay? I wasn't going to do that, but you had to help me out. And they have just adopted a second dog, which is being adopted is a big thing. But quickly, the quarterly meeting was April 8th here. The open house was April 11th to 12th, and signs were posted. I went by a few times to talk to folks. I just like going to the dog park because they all love it and they tell us what a great job Parks is doing. There is a new chairperson, Brenda Leininger, because as we leave, Carmen Williams, carefully seated to my left, will no longer be chair, but we will make sure that the dog park committee is set up to run as it should, and it is active and provides great input. Do we have any information on the shade structures on when they're coming in?
They were just delivered today.
Yay. So thank you to the commissioners for funding shade structures, in each of the 3 activity areas. So we'll leave it to Parks to get those in. Any logos and materials that I have from 8-9 years ago, I will be forwarding to Alexis and Brenda for any material that needs to be printed up. Specifically, that kind of material might be the information box at the front of the park that the committee purchased, not the township. I will be changing all of the information in there because it is not weather protected. So before we go, I will have new information in there and I'll share with you what that might be. So people, when they come to the park, have a QR code they can scan and find out what the deal is. There's 1,014 Facebook followers on the little Facebook page, about 253 registered. And I want to thank Carmen Williams, like my wife, for taking over his chair the last year. You don't blush, but I was kind of hoping. But this dog park is almost 8 years old, folks, and it serves people that don't get service from the township parks in other ways, in my opinion. There are social groups, they meet different times. There's a 2 o'clock group. Don't go out there, they're a little wild. But there are times of the day and certain days of the week, and they communicate via social media to line up who's going to be out there. So if you drive by, there's nobody there, go by an hour later, there might be 10 cars. That's my dog park report. Thank you. Let me see who I can embarrass next. Oh, Judy, you're up.
I think I'm on here. My parks are McCormick Park and Grantham, and I've enjoyed delving into meeting everybody, or not everybody, but lots of people that are going there. McCormick Park has some known issues: trash, lack of bathrooms, overcrowding in the summertime. And I'd like to see us continue to address that. I've done a lot of looking into options for toilets that could be in that park, but it's going to take a village to accomplish that. And I think it's fair that all the parks have similar facilities, bathrooms, as well as trash pickup. And McCormick Park does not have trash pickup or bathrooms. So, just check my note here. I'm also interested in having a counter available for the park so we can actually document how many people are using our parks. When you apply for grants, you need to have that kind of data to show the usage of your parks. And again, the village is working on that. At Grantham, if there's a no fishing sign there, I couldn't find it. Maybe it's not big enough. Is there one?
It doesn't specify no fishing. It's just the rules for the park. I mean, we didn't put no fishing signs up yet because we're hoping the second phase starts soon, and that's basically going to close the park again.
But there are fish there now. That's new, since this board has met, that you put 700 fish in there, right? They're very small, but hopefully they're growing. I've only seen one, but there's a lot of turtles. But they're in there. I had a moment I put on Facebook, probably a lot of you saw it, that I was walking around the park and there were 6 little boys with all their fishing equipment, and they were fishing wholeheartedly in the pond. And I didn't have the nerve to tell them that there were no fish in there. But this was a segue into what we have to look forward to. When that park is going, it's just going to be fantastic. I have memories myself of fishing in that pond and skating in that pond, which I know is not allowed. But the other thing that I have talked to people about there, and then apparently there's no kayaking allowed in the pond because there's structures in there that could be damaged, and we don't know how it's going to affect the fish and things. But I'd like to see that be looked into, and I'd like to see the whole ecological environment there be evaluated. I know Chad's working on it just so that we keep the fish alive and we keep the circulation and we have the right plants growing around there. And it's a lot of good things to look forward to. And I think you're going to give a nice report of what's happening with the grant money that I don't have anything to do with.
Have any idea how many feet people go out and throw fishing lines in the water where there are no fish there and very happily sit there.
Right, it's a happy
That
moment.
just brought it to mind.
And the trash in both places has not been bad so far.
All right. Christina, what can you share?
What can I share? Okay, so if there are staffing issues, I haven't really noticed anything at Trout Run and Simpson. And I do appreciate you guys mentioning Bird Town because I do enjoy sitting at both locations really to enjoy the birds, but everything's looking nice. Again, we're transitioning from cool weather to warmer, so it's good to see people out.
Jeff?
Yes, I have Aspen, Spring Run, and Mount Allen. And again, if staffing issues are a problem, it wasn't evident with the parks. Everything was freshly cut. Obviously, spring cut where stuff is deep in some spots. Aspen was freshly cut. Spring Run was very busy when I had stopped by. You had a variety of different activities, people shooting hoops. You had grandparents out there, parents out there, a lot of kids out there. It was very active. And Mount Allen was actually quiet, but obviously with the baseball park and things like that, you expect that. But everything looks fantastic right now. So thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Jason can't be here. His daughter has a softball game. But when it comes to Fisher, I looked around quite a bit because I was down there for opening day for baseball, and we're 3 houses away. We're starting to hear the paddleball players in the evening. No bad words yet, but we'll wait. Just a wonderful park. Miller's Quest and Kozer, obviously I didn't go to. And Dan didn't make it tonight. Whiting Hill, when I go through Generations and drive down McCormick for peace, I always go through Whiting Hill. And that park, folks, is used by all ages at all times in a lot of different weather. And it looked really good to me. And for softball, they did a nice job, and Parks did a nice job, great job as always, supporting them. And Parks was thanked for, during the opening ceremony, for their efforts. And the award, I didn't mention it, the award that staff got was for the train viewing platform. And I did see a train go by when I went by there the other day, and there were 2 cars parked there to see it. I guess they know whatever schedule it is. We can't find out what the schedule is. All right, moving on. Grantham Park update.
Chairman Williams. I don't know how to make this work, but I'll just be really loud. I did want to comment. I live and
Yeah, we know where you live.
now you don't know. Just continue to comment about what I get part. I think we're with dogs not.
Yeah.
And I don't know, from living there, I too sometimes, and to my son's embarrassment, will sit on the porch and yell, "Get a leash!" Because as soon as I see the dog walk up, they cross just along my property line and my dog loses her mind. So normally I get alerted to it right away. We have an increasing issue with that. And I think that is maybe something that the Parks and Rec Committee would want to take up. I know there isn't a lot you can do, and signs don't always help, but maybe some more reminders about the dog park at our other parks. Might be like a positive kind of, hey, there's a better place for you to let your dog run message. And I don't know if there's a way that we could include literature about the park, at the others. If you're seeing it at other parks, I find that interesting. I thought that was really a Winding Hill issue because of the large fields there.
It's true everywhere. I mean, we've had, I'm not going there for staff, but we've had some people habitually leaving their dog off lead. I'm sorry, you had a comment? Go ahead.
I think like the township newsletter is always a good place to like just remind people, hey, it's getting warmer, it just might be a good place to put, don't forget the dog park, make sure your dog's on a leash. Yeah.
Good idea.
Other comments? Y'all are quiet tonight. Go ahead.
Well, the present dog park, you have to be a member to use it, is that right?
Don't do membership, we do a
A
registration.
registration.
Membership implies exclusivity.
And we have large numbers that are using the park, right? It's being used.
At one time, yeah.
Yeah.
Got great registration, consistent.
I'm just thinking maybe it's time for another park, another dog park, if that one's being utilized a lot.
You need, okay,
A
to
thought.
be honest, we need 3 acres and we're leasing that from the church because we couldn't find it elsewhere. But I think this park is fine for our needs.
Okay.
If you go there, that most I've ever seen are 20 dogs and that's very rare. Normally it's 3, 4, 6 and split between 2 age groups. So I appreciate the comment. I'm trying not to shut you down, just give you information that seems to be sufficient to me.
Jeff, do we currently have signage at the parks related to dogs on leash and things like that? Or is that primarily just word of mouth?
Yeah, there are around.
Yeah. I mean, is that primarily because of liability we need to do that or should do that or?
I mean, the police can enforce it regardless because it's in the ordinance. And I mean, unless they see it or unless somebody calls them, it's hard for them to do anything.
It's an enforcement issue by the time they get there, the dog's gone. I mean, I get that, but it's been a problem for quite a while. Mr. Cochran,
Yeah, I mow Friendship,
address, please.
384 Allison Avenue.
Thank you.
I mow Friendship every Friday morning. And it's interesting, I watch people walk in with their dog on a leash from Meadowview, so they wouldn't walk it off leash in Meadowview. And as soon as they get to the park, the leash comes off and the dog runs free. So, and they know better. The signs are there. They live next to the park, but they're not that far from the dog park, but it's just a habit.
All right, how about this? Is there a newsletter for Winding Hill? I think there is. A community newsletter that's online.
They do have a newsletter. Oh, sorry, you live there, right?
I have letter, Facebook and Facebook group and then
Yeah, Orchard Glen does not have a newsletter, but we can definitely like send out an email reminder.
Well, the township does have a newsletter, so we can put that in there. I think that's a great idea.
Well, I didn't do it yet. I didn't call you yet. Oh, I am so in trouble. I'll put it in the Meadowview because there is an issue. They walk right by our house on the way to the park and then they cut them loose. And Fisher's it's basically an athletic complex. And there's a lot of people down there. But enforcement is always the problem. So, Mrs. Williams, would you like to speak? Your address, please.
334 East Meadow Drive. I just wanted to say the reason that they are not going to the dog park is because the owner wants to walk on the path. They want exercise and want their dog to have exercise. At the dog park, you don't get as much exercise. The human doesn't because I have seen people walk around in the grass, but you also need to maintain your dog while you're there. But that's the reason our walking paths in our parks are the most utilized feature throughout our whole park system. So, and the signs are there, and I get upset as well because my dog is on a leash, but a bigger dog is not. So whatever we can do to enforce that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Mrs. Williams, you walk your dog at least once a day, usually down through the park? So you see people okay. What's the other one you're asking me? I don't know. So I don't know what can be done about that. It's one of those almost unenforceable things unless there's an unfortunate incident where someone or a dog is hurt. The dog park has a policy. If a dog is injured and the injured party contacts the non-emergency number of the township police, then that dog is out. I mean, they will turn off the key fob. They can't get in the park anymore unless they see a friend who will let them in, which, you know, happens now and then, but that's the way of the game. All right. Anything else?
Just to follow up on that, are we recommending or suggesting that all HOAs should advocate for that? Like putting it in your, neighborhood association saying,
That's what I do.
because I'm in Kimberly Meadows and we have an HOA. I mean, that is something that, we can do. We're a closed neighborhood, but still you have dogs that can roam sometimes. And it's, again, I don't want to see the parks or the township get into a liability issue that we didn't have signage. We didn't warn somebody about that. So I think an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's like if we at least make some effort to do it, I think it indemnifies us a little bit.
Do you have a list of associations? So do you all think she should send something to them going, maybe just a 1-paragraph press release? If your dog gets off lead, it'll be kept, something. Okay. Thank you. All right, Grantham Park update. Are we back to that? Or did we do that?
No, we're back to that. All right, so the second phase of the Grantham project was presented to the commissioners and approved for the project to go out to bid. The engineer is working on the bidding process and plans to have bid results by the May PI meeting to present to the commissioners for approval. In-house, the pond was stocked with over 700 fish, like Judy said, and signs were placed at the park with rules related to the pond. We did make a Facebook post about not fishing at the time until the fish have a chance to grow, with the possibility of the second phase being accepted and construction going through the summer. The pond will have limited or no access, which would give the pond a chance to come into balance and allow the fish to grow. We were there last week just to kind of take a look at everything that's happening and see how the park's going. And we were down at the inlet pipe and we saw 200 to 300 fish all there in that one area swimming around. So they are there. If you want to take a look down by the inlet, they seem to like that corner for right now for some reason. So just a fun fact there. And that's it for that.
Is that it, Ed?
Yes.
How about the Simpson ADA?
Yeah, the Simpson ADA Creek access update. The commissioners represented the plan that we discussed at one of our earlier meetings regarding the Simpson Park Creek access plan, which included an ADA kayak launch and a boat/canoe launch. The commissioners gave our engineer permission to start the permitting process for the plan. With adding the boat launch, the permitting process is a little more in depth now and could take 6 months to a year. We would not want to do this project over the summer anyways because of how busy the park gets throughout the summer months. So we'd probably be looking at late fall or early spring window for this project to start. Chad Alley and the engineer all have a meeting next week with DCNR to finalize the grant money for this project.
Nick?
Yeah, I just want to make sure. So we're still on track to be able to claim that money for the grant, knowing that it's going to maybe take 6 months to a year. Because I thought the clock was December of this year, right? And sorry, not to make you talk, Chad.
Oh, that's all right. It's all right. They just wanted a decision from us that we were going to use it. So
Cool.
and we're giving them the plans and everything, so we should be good.
Understood. Thank you.
It was $100,000, right?
Yep.
No match.
Chad, what's the surface? I forget.
The boat launch itself is,
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the Grantham Pond surface.
those trails were proposed to be paved. Asphalt.
Asphalt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else, Eddie?
That's it for that.
Okay. We're on to new business, folks, and that is fundraising, which I've talked about for a number of years. Who's taking the lead on that?
I am. All right, so fundraising, we have two things to discuss under this agenda
I'm a
item.
bad man.
First, we would like to discuss our 36 Park and Rec Trust Fund. This fund was set up to receive donations to purchase land, improve or maintain our parks. The fund currently has a balance of $34,844.80. Most of this balance was attributed in 2022 and 2023 when we put the fees from field use and pavilion rentals into this fund. The goal was to build up the money to use on capital projects for future field or sports-related upgrades with the minimal amount that we charge the groups since they do a lot of their own maintenance. The total wasn't gaining enough to attribute to a project without years of savings. So we moved these fees back into the general fund to offset maintenance costs attributed to the fields. A few other small donations for benches were made before our memorial bench policy was in place. With the township looking into more fundraising for events, Birdtown and currently the dog park, which has just got put into our 38 fund, in which we have to track back to find the totals. We would like to propose having an ordinance amendment to this fund to include the usage of events. Our goal would not be to use the money that is currently there, but to create lines within this fund so the fundraising money can stay within the purpose of the funds received. For example, parkland purchase, park amenities, park events, Birdtown, and the dog park, allowing us to raise and expand funds for each purpose.
You need a motion in support of,
I would say yes.
what do y'all think? Discussion?
I'd make a motion to do that, so support the trust account for sure. Yeah.
Got that? Second?
I second.
All in favor?
But actually on the motion, I'd like to ask some questions though.
Okay, I should have had more discussion.
Eddie, regarding the account, you said you want to have other lines within that. Are you talking about restricted accounts within it so that you can separate out different activities so that, you know, you're not having a bunch of money in the account that's all from fees for whatever group and then it goes to something else just to make sure it stays within special areas?
Yeah, to ensure that we can keep track of where the money's actually coming from, going to, so it has its own grouping.
Do we need to
within
have that
fund.
outlined in the ordinance, do you think, that it should be delineated that way? Or is that something you guys would do yourself so that we would just have it set up in the account?
Yeah, I mean, that would be our plan. Our next step, we wanted to get it out there to see if there was a possibility. Our next step, we'll draft a ordinance amendment, probably run it by the solicitor and then present it to the BOC.
Yeah, again, I would strongly encourage that we do that so we can have a continuous rollover of funding staying within that account so we can make sure that funds get divvied up appropriately to each area.
With the fall festival, how does that work? Do they have, they're allowed to collect money just for sponsors? Is that something that we'd fallen under or is
So
that different?
last year was the first year we actually really fundraised and all that just went back into our general fund. So there was no way to track one way or the other. I mean, we knew how much money we raised, but anything left over just got absorbed into the general fund. Years prior to that, everything was in kind donation or we spent it as we got it. So this will give us a way to build funds and use them for future events.
I'm just thinking maybe that would be included in an ordinance, events like that.
All right, Jeff, are you comfortable with your motion? Because we have a motion on the table.
Yes, sir. I'm comfortable with that.
Go ahead.
I'll second that.
Oh, well, we had it. She seconded it.
No worries.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed, go home.
Yeah.
I think there's a bigger thing with sponsorship. I'll say this again, I have in the past years. There may come a time when the township is looking for a sponsor for something major. A field, I had someone, we had someone was going to give us $750,000 for a synthetic turf field, but wanted their logo in the middle, their name, and that was a no. We had a fitness course many years ago when they were first out, and the sponsor wanted to be Red Man Tobacco. And we said no. So my suggestion is, I like this idea, this approach, but if something big comes up, let it be a case-by-case basis to the commissioners to decide what's appropriate. Just as a head nod, are you all kind of, all right?
I agree. I think it's two separate issues though, too. We want to have the special accounts set up to make sure we protect the funding, but it also has to be transparency. So we all discuss it. And so it's not just Red Man coming in and saying, oh yeah, we'll give you all this money. It's like, it needs to be vetted too. So we need to have a two-step process, I think, for that.
Those were no-brainers. You have something to share?
Just saying that it'll be a process. Someone will have to work on the ordinance proposal.
Yeah.
Look at other ones,
Okay,
come up with
Yeah.
something
well,
appropriate.
we're good.
And Jeff, I do have a second part to the fundraising here. We would be creating a policy. So secondly, we would like to get some feedback from the board and possibly the sports groups if they would like to share on raising funds for projects and what we could offer in return to the donor. Currently, the only option which is protected by our sign policy is for the groups to sell banners and place them on the fences. Obviously, everything is getting more expensive and it's hard for the township or the sports groups to raise large funds and only give them a banner in return. For example, of a larger project would be the lights on the softball field at Whining Hill is estimated at $500,000. So we would like some ideas that we could put into a policy to allow maybe field naming rights or bronze plaques on the projects, et cetera.
What?
I mean, that's good. The other thing too is, I mean, I don't know if websites like, brought to you by or wherever the park might have gotten the money, you could just say light sponsored by, whatever. I mean, that might be a way to sort of like let it live digitally and be seen by many people. I liked how we did that for the anniversary last year to sort of say, hey, these were the people that gave and companies that gave.
Mr. Cochran?
Still at 384 Allison Avenue. Several years ago, we proposed putting a monument at each field. And you could have a primary sponsor and you could have secondary sponsors. And over time, you just need to change the plaque out. And that would cut down too on what I thought was kind of sign overload, that you can get too many signs all over fields and stuff. So that's just a thought. Again, is you build a nice monument and you have the field sponsor maybe has their name at the top. We still have scoreboards that people sponsor and they get their names for that. But that was something that we also talked about at one time, we don't charge well, I guess we do now. We charge a small flat fee to our organizations, but we just talked about a variable fee. In other words, $3 per child to use the park for the season. And when we brought that up, soccer was fine with it. Baseball was so-so, and softball was definitely against it. So, but we thought that if you're going to use the field and you're going to degrade the field, then that if you donate that money and it goes to your field, you've got money to keep that field in nice shape. And that's, I just, one other thing I'd say too, I should have said, I guess before I was up here talking about the dog walkers, not all of the Meadowview people do that, but some of them that do, since a soccer field is just a field, when the dog's off the leash and the dog stops and drops, they just walk on and they just leave it in the middle of a playing field. And that's not right either. So that's an issue that you don't have. Typically, you don't walk a dog on a baseball field. But so again, getting back to the fields, the $5 or $3 or whatever, and then that money always goes back to that sport to improve that field seem to make sense. And it's something they do to a large extent in New Jersey. We have family members that live in New Jersey, and a lot of the sporting facility down there do that for kids. And I just wanted to be clear that when you were talking about some things that you did, that was not here in Upper Island Township, but that was prior life in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you said we did this and I just wasn't sure because I don't remember us doing it here, but it was one of your prior lives.
Yeah, that was in a former life.
Okay.
Thank you. That's been brought up several times before for y'all to consider.
We'll go back and draft some policies, Jeff, and bring them back for discussion at the next
Okay.
meeting.
Can you have something next month?
Yeah, we'll try to get some ready for next month.
I'd like to say. All right, is that it?
For
Fundraising?
Yes.
Update on events and activities. Oh, look, it's Bird Town again.
So, Alexis has come up with this very nice, 2-pager of all of our events this year. And we're kind of just going to go down through them and give you guys small details about each of them and kind of just go from there. Starting with our Food Truck Fridays. Our first Food Truck Friday it's going to be this Friday from 5 to 7, and every fourth Friday after that of every month, skipping September for our Fall Fest. We're going to have live music, same as last year. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We think it's working pretty well. So we're doing the same thing as we did last year, 5 to 7 every fourth Friday with 5 to 7 or so food trucks each time.
Oh, okay, sorry. One thing I just want to point out, there's a typo on here. I know it's there, so please save your emails. I know it's there.
Oh, no, that's too good.
So my upcoming event, meaning my as in Birdtown's next upcoming event, is the Thoughtful Gardener, which is her name is Heather Andrews, and she's a master gardener. And she's basically going to talk about how you can turn your own garden in your home into a pollinator's space. So that is from 6 to 7:15 on April the 29th, which is next Wednesday night, and that will take place in this room here at 100 Gettysburg Pike. Our next event, Birdtown's next event, is our expert-led bird walks. This is an encore performance of this event because it was really successful last time. This is May 3rd. The first walk starts at 8 a.m. The second walk starts at 9 a.m. It's going to be at Generations. The guide is Stefan Kirchhoff from the Pennsylvania Game Commission. He's an avian recovery biologist. Last time they saw a lot of birds, so it should be good. It is registration required, so if you do want to come, just make sure you register on the activities page on the website. The next Birdtown event is on May 13th. This is more for the kids. It's called Bizarre Babies, and it's going to be put on by West Shore Wildlife Center, which is basically like an animal rescue. And they're going to be bringing in baby animals. So I just think it's going to be super cute. And hopefully we're going to bring in a lot of people for that as well, just like we did for the live bird demonstrations.
When is that?
I'm sorry, May 13th at 6:30 p.m. And that's going to take place here at the Township Building.
Got
it. Next up.
Yeah, so the next event after that would be our story time in the park, which is ran by the Simpson Library every year. So that's pretty much every Tuesday in June, July, and August at Winding Hill Park South from 9:30 to 10:50, which they do 3 different reading times. 9:30 to 9:50 is rhyme time in the park, which is for babies and toddlers. 10 to 10:20, it's toddler time, so toddlers on the go are invited to join that one. And 10:30 to 10:15 is story time in the park, which is for singing, finger plays, and rhymes, pretty much for any of the kids starting kindergarten or already attending kindergarten. So that way they have the 3 age groups specifically tailored for the different age groups.
Okay, on June 5th, the York Area Recreation Directors, aka YARD, is hosting an event called Take Me Fishing. It is from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. At Pinchot Park in the Conewago Day Use area. It is a free fishing experience. It's in partnership with the PA Fish and Boat Commission, and it's open to Upper Island residents. It is designed for children of all experience levels, and all the fishing gear and instructions will be provided. So that should be pretty cool.
Treat Tuesdays, once again, same as last year. We're gonna have 2 trucks, one at Winding Hill Park North and one at Friendship, starting on June 9th through August 11th. Pretty much trying to stay in that summer months when the kids are off of school. From 11 to 1 seems to be the popular time when parents are there before nap time through lunch. Once again, just there to kind of give them sweet treats and some ice cream from Kona Ice and Sarah's Creamery.
Okay, so Field Day 2026, we did this last year, and we didn't get a whole lot of people, unfortunately, so we're switching it up a little. Last year we did it on a Saturday, midsummer. This year we're gonna do it actually on a Thursday because the parks are apparently, according to Eddie, very heavily populated during the days with stay-at-home mothers, et cetera. So we are going after that demographic. It is the 25th, which is a Thursday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's at Winding Hill Park North. And this is it's a free event, but we are taking donations for Extra Life, which is a division of Children's Miracle Network. So we'll start fundraising and kind of publicizing for that as we get a little closer to the date. Next up, Eddie, movie night.
Yeah, so movie night in the park will be July 10th this year at Friendship Park, sponsored by Alba Orthodontics. Once again, 6 p.m. is the event start time with what they normally do, which is like free popcorn and free glow sticks or glow wands. They were throwing a couple of ideas around of which movie they're going to get for this year. I'm not sure if they finalized the movie yet. I haven't heard. Last thing we heard was they were going to try to go after the new Mario movie. So I guess more to come on that as we hear more. And September 25th, our 4th annual Fall Fest this year, once again, 4 to 9 p.m. Exactly how we did it last year with better, more actually, I think 5 or 6 more food trucks in a separate area of the park. It seems to be the highlight of our Fall Fest, and then most of the food trucks seem to sell out just about for the past 3 years. So we've added some food trucks, but everything else is pretty much still the same with a couple minor changes that we will bring to you guys as the months come on. We are in early discussions of a new event that we want to bring to the township. As of right now, we're calling it the Halloween Playground Treat Trail. It's essentially what's it called? A trunk or treat. Instead of it being in a parking lot, we're thinking about bringing it onto the playground and creating more or less of a trail through the play set, through the maze down at Winding Hill North, and having sports groups, community vendors come in and pretty much set up set up a table where they can decorate, for Halloween or whatever it may be, and hand out candy, tattoos, stickers, whatever they'd like to bring. More or less something that kids would like. Hopefully not all candy, but just pretty much create a trail through the playground where they can start on one end and on another, and we'll have some music, some lights, and 1 or 2 food trucks. The event will be on Saturday, October 31st from 5 to 8 is what we're thinking of right now. After that, we have our annual holiday tree lighting, which is set for December 6th from 5 to 6:30. Once again, sponsored by Alba Orthodontics. We are currently in the process of looking for a live tree that we could plant in that location. We're looking to get it as big as we can. Alba does want to purchase the tree and we can plant it that way. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger instead of them just, cutting one down every year. So we've called several different nurseries in the area and even within an hour or two away. And the biggest we've found are 10, 15 feet. So they'd like to get at least a 20-footer to start off. Because it will take years to, get it any bigger than that. So that's kind of our plan for that. Same thing, a couple food trucks, and yeah, that's pretty much it for that.
On December 12th, we are doing Paws with Claws. This is a repeat event from last year. It went pretty well last year. We didn't have a ton of people, but I think once the word gets out, it will be pretty popular. This is going to be, as I said, December 12th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It will be right here in the hallway back here behind me. Last year we set up the Christmas trees in the hallway and all that. It's sort of very festive. And the idea is that you can bring your dog or cat in to see Santa. Last time we also had a photographer, which we could do again. And that we got some really cute shots. And then this year we're hoping a lot of people that came last year asked if they could donate money to us. So we thought, well, why don't we make this into a fundraiser next year? So we're gonna pick a cause and fundraise. We're thinking about possibly the Susquehanna service dogs. So we're looking into that. That same day, it's gonna be a long day for some of us around here. That same day, we have our family indoor game night. So from 12 to 4 p.m. right here in this room, we're gonna have a family game night so that we bring like a ton of board games. Last year we did a cornhole tournament, so we'll probably do that again. And then we had Santa stop by as well. So hopefully Roy will be willing to hang out for like much of the day. Great. Okay. According to Chad, Roy signed up for both, so we're good. So yeah, those are our upcoming events for the year. And on this little flyer, which I want to get printed, it has the QR code to our registration page. That's the funky yellow looking one. And then the green one is just our Facebook page.
I would say, because I went to Paws with Claws, how great that was. And Roy, who is a part-time parks employee, was Santa. And he was, huh? So I don't get a present, okay. He was excellent. And I would throw out there that we need to look again. And when we're doing events and taking in donations for another agency, what are the legalities of a municipal organization, a governmental organization, taking in funds and not processing it themselves and giving it to a charity, no matter how good the charity is.
Has to be accounted for.
Where I come from.
So when we do the events with Extra Life, we don't take the funds. There's a QR code and they donate directly to the organization.
Okay, I'll be quiet now. Thank you.
Do we share this calendar with the Mechanicsburg Rec Board? Do they we all get invited to their things? Do we invite them to ours?
We normally share it with the rec department who kind of gets it through everybody else.
And do you need volunteers for these things? Is there I mean, I'd like to see some docents in our parks. Maybe we could work up a phone.
Don't you want to be an elf?
No,
Oh, okay.
gets you some help. You need some volunteers.
I'll be an elf.
Chad, I had one question regarding the donations to the organizations. Is that up to them how they receive the funds? Like you're saying they can do the QR code. Do they do any other options?
Direct contribution.
We haven't taken any other. It's a link to a page where they can put in like their credit card information.
Okay. The only reason I'm saying is just because there's some people, regardless of age, who don't want to deal with QR codes and things like that. State just recently passed legislation to stop high schools from requiring, credit cards for games, so that allowing cash options. So it's something to be mindful that, you may have someone who has a very big heart that wants to give money directly to that organization. And to Jeff's point, we have to be mindful of that too. So it's something we don't want
They
to.
have a representative at our events too, so I would think if somebody would want to give cash, they would accept it.
And that's what I think that's just, we need to make sure we're careful of that, because there's a lot of people who, pause with claws or they're going to want to donate, but we need to make sure that we're not involved taking cash, that they can have that option. So.
Okay, anything else on that? Uh-oh.
Josh Brown, 834 Grantham Road. I actually have a question. I'm sorry to put you guys on the spot, but with your food trucks, do you guys get a percentage back on the sales for any of those? And do you take any of those funds and put them into any type of trust fund or anything to help offset other future events? So like if I'm going to buy a $25 lobster from a food truck, I want to get 30% of that, $7.50. So my question is, are you going to take any of those funds, or is any of that set up right now for us or no?
No, as of right now, actually, food trucks come to our events completely free of charge, and we don't take any percentage of them either.
I just thought if, just taking this hat off and putting on another hat, if you were looking for some type of fundraising event or anything like that, I thought that may be a decent idea. And especially you're talking about all these other line items. So I've had some experience with it, and we've brought in several thousands on it for just one event. So
let me clarify that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sure.
We don't charge the food trucks for the events
I
that we
get that.
host here at the township. But so say if someone comes to like a tournament or a game or
Mhm.
any other event or anything else in the township for someone else at the
Mhm.
parks, we do charge them.
Okay.
But the events that we host at our parks, we don't charge them for.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And to follow up on Mr. Brown's point, that's an excellent point. Is there a bidding process or any kind of way that, because again, along that line, you could have someone who wants to get in all the time and they push out others who might be interested. So I was just kind of curious, because post-COVID, food trucks are all the rage now. So if that's becoming more common, it might be something where it could be a revenue thing, because if you're having an army of trucks coming in here that they want to just do this, you might be keeping some other ones out who want to participate, might give money back to the township for something like that.
No, we currently don't have anything in place for that, but
Do you know other townships that do possibly?
I personally don't. Yeah, we can look into it, reach out to the local townships around here.
I was just thinking, because the food truck Fridays you guys have set up now, fantastic. I mean, I'm trying to shed what I gained on it. So, but the point is that if you already have these continuing throughout the year and you're talking about fundraising, I mean, this is an easy moneymaker for you. So just a suggestion. Doesn't have to be this year, maybe the start of next year with, you guys and Keldine and the commissioners or whoever. So just a thought. So thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you. And we have talked about possibly charging in the future for vendors, because honestly, 70 to 80% of them always reach out to me and say, hey, where can I send the check? And I'm always telling them it's our event, so we don't charge you for that. So
Fair number for you, anywhere between 15 and 25%. You're good.
thank you.
Yeah, I think flat fee, based on my experience, is the only way to go. You cannot monitor a percentage, right? You can't take a percentage of the gross, so flat fee to participate. On the other hand, starting this program off, you all had to entice these food trucks to come.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know, they have product. They invest in product on their trucks. They don't know what kind of crowd they're going to get. They do now, and they do real well. So maybe now's the time to do something like that. Kind of be up to you all, but start slow with a fee and increase it a bit. But I would compliment you on the quality of the food trucks that have come. I don't participate because I'm on a severe diet.
And I do agree with that. Now that we're established and I have a list of upwards of 45 to 47 food trucks that are on a contact list that want to come to our events. But once again, we don't want to saturate it too much. So we do have 5 to 7 at every food truck Friday, but the list is growing every day. I just got another one today from Alexis, but it's more or less everyone just keeps getting put on a wait list. So
I think Mr. Brown's point's well taken. I mean, if you have people knowing that they're buying local, that you have a food truck coming to your neighborhood, maybe I would be more enticed to go there because I know it's going to the parks or it's going to the dog park. It's going to something for the township or, general operations that, and again, kind of covering the army of trucks that you're dealing with, that it's truly like above board where it's like, okay, here's your flat fee or something like that. So
I agree.
and again, if you know of other municipalities that do that, we can model them and it makes it easy.
Yeah, we'll reach out to see what they're doing. Cool.
Thank you.
Anything else, folks? All right, 250 activities. Eddie, doing a great job speaking for him.
Thanks. All right. So 250 activities. With Chad's new appointment in PRPS for our district, the executive committee is planning some activities for America 250. One of these events will be a Puzzle Palooza that will be hosted at Susquehanna Township. Some more details and registration information will be available in the coming weeks. This event will be aligned with Park and Rec Professionals Day in July. Another activity that will be hosted, that we'll be doing is an art contest. Upper Island will be the host of this activity. The art contest rules will go out to each municipality in the district, hopefully next week. The art contest will focus on what Parks in America 250 means to you. Each municipality will accept artwork in 3 age groups until the beginning of June. The artwork will then be judged by the municipal park boards to narrow it down to 3 entries of each age group. A judging panel will be formed to judge all final entries down to a winner of each age group for the district. The committee is in talks with local legislators to discuss options for winners. We have some plans and ideas, but we'll discuss at a later date when verified. That's it.
That it? No, okay.
That's it.
All right, folks, we are down to chair elections. What we're going to do is elect a chair tonight. Since we've gone through the process with the Board of Commissioners of appointments, and thank you again to Judy and Jeff for being here. You behaved very well tonight. I appreciate that. But we need to select a chair to finish out till January when the board will elect someone new. This would be effective after the May meeting. I would be chair one more meeting and then I will be done. And I'll put it out there like we usually do. By township code, it is our responsibility to elect our leadership. Do I have any nominations?
I was actually going to ask, if we're not going to do vice chair, can we postpone chair until next meeting and do them both together?
What do y'all think? We can do what we want to. We're volunteers.
I mean, I'm comfortable postponing till next meeting, but I'm also comfortable electing the chair now. Does not matter either way.
All right, we have fresh views on either side. What do you all think?
I don't know what the rules are. What does the ordinance say?
The ordinance says we elect a chair and a vice chair once a year. It does not have time frame. It does not have much of anything else other than the authority.
Chairman, do we do nominations now and then vote next month since we don't have all members here?
My preference would be to do everything all at once. And if you want to defer it, we can do that. And then I can actually do the formation with it. Here's the gavel. Here you go.
That's why I want to wait, is just to give Dan and, Jason a chance to be here.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Okay.
I just wanted you to have the chance to pass a gavel, so that's all.
I'm keeping it. No, I don't need another guy. All right, everybody comfortable with deferring? All right, we have one other piece. When I leave, there'll be a vacancy for a position on this board from June through December, which is the completion of my term. We've been through some interviews. We have a couple of qualified applicants. We have two great applicants that have been appointed. We need to appoint somebody else. Does anybody have a suggestion? What I would like to do is suggest somebody have a motion, a formal motion to send to the Board of Commissioners.
I mean, if I may, I would like to have Lauren Sanker back.
I would agree with that, 100%.
You want to make a motion?
I move to request Lauren Sanker be added back to the board.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, if we could forward that. Can you do that, Alexis? Okay. I mean, they're here, a couple folks are here, but kind of knew that was coming. All right, I want to thank everybody for being here. Does anybody else have anything to say this evening? Otherwise, we'll see you next month. Thank you. Adjourn.